Chief Baraka, one other, in terms of what else does the department do as CAL FIRE as a whole, as a fire department, in terms of when we have, either existing facilities or new facilities that are being built in town, if you want to elaborate a little bit more about that.
So we also, through the contract, we provide the fire marshal office. All right, so the fire marshal does all the plan reviews, and does a lot of the inspections, the new and existing facility inspections. We come out and through the fire marshal's office, we make sure that the sprinkler systems are in place. Making sure that everything is fire safe. Make sure that the multi-residential apartments, we go through those and we ensure that like egress and access is not hindered or blocked. So that way, if there is any type of emergency, that you're able to get out. We work with the community to building like emergency plans, like emergency escape plans. So if you have if you're in question or you're wanting to try to build an escape plan, you can call us out and we can go through with you and look at the layout of your home and kind of give you some ideas as to what you can do to be fire safe.
Yeah, speaking to CAL FIRE doing more than just what's in Livingston and bouncing off of the large incident response triggered a thought that I've already brought up, and that is what is going on with Castle Air Force Base's tanker recharge station. I'm hearing more than one thing. I'm pretty sure this might be, the answer to this question may be above your pay grade, but I'm hoping there's someone in the room that can give us a better idea as to, has that tanker base been closed? Or is there something in the works to reopen it, but at another location on the base?
So sitting in the audience is my Chief Jeremy Ron.
All right, good morning. Feels like morning, right? Jeremy Ron, Merced County Division Chief, also Assistant Chief. Also with me is your Fire Chief, Mike Van Lobencels. To kind of answer your question about Castle is, yes, the U.S. Forest Service is contracted with the county for the airplanes that have been out there over the last few years. They are still, they have a different location, but it is still worked with the county for the Forest Service to contract with the county to provide that service. It wasn't a CAL FIRE air base. I think to be more specific is they did geographically move from a section of the runway to where a hangar is due to an agreement that the county made with some research and development on self-driving cars. So what they did is they moved that operation to another section within the Castle Airport. But the Forest Service basically moved their stuff over to a new hangar, and they are out there working with the county and is available through the agreement to staff their aircraft. As far as the agreement being current as of today, I don't have that information, but I do know the county has been working side by side with them to make sure that the flight line is available for them if they need it.
This is for our police department. So one other aspect that the police department oversees is animal control. So Chief, if you can talk a little bit about, or Chris, about our the animal control department, and then kind of what our kind of what we can do, because I know there's been a lot of questions about stray cats and what we can do with stray cats and not, and I think it would be nice at this moment in time. And then I'll talk a little bit about the dog park, and there's some residents that have a little bit of concern about where the designated dog park is going, and we'll talk a little about that. But I want to turn it over to you first.
Sure. I'll talk about the cats first, and I'll turn over to Captain to talk about animal control. But one of the questions that came up last council meeting was basically a catch and spay and neuter release program, and that's something that our department has looked at because we were approached by it. I did talk to Chief Mike Salvador from Atwater PD, because I wanted to ask him what his thoughts were on this program. First of all, cats are not regulated like dogs are. Dogs you have to have confined, you have to have a license. Cats are basically free to roam the neighborhoods. And so for us to put out traps and catch somebody's pet is probably not going to go very far in the terms of community relations. If somebody has an issue with the feral cat, if they do trap it and they take it to the animal shelter in Atwater, the department's going to be charged $100. And we've had situations where a resident brought a feral cat with 5 kittens and we ended up getting a $600 bill. Well, with that said, I'm all supportive of responsible pet ownership to include spay and neuter for feral cats. If we have programs out there that can do that, great. As a department, that's something that's very cost prohibitive. For that program, Atwater PD was paying anywhere from $500 to $3,000 a month for that program. And they are no longer going to be actively involved in that program. If they do, they're going to really negotiate a much, much lower rate, because that's a big impact to our general fund. We owe it to our residents to be responsible for public dollars and looking at the issue, not that it's not an important issue, but looking at an issue for us to fund a program like that, we need to look at how we can fund those programs in a private manner. I will turn over to the captain, since he oversees animal control services, and talk about the function of animal control.
There was also a question that came up by the lady who actually talked about that we don't respond to all cat calls. We do. If there's an injured animal, we will go out. Either our animal control officer will or an officer will. We're required by law to do that. Any injured animal, we will go out and respond. During the day, she patrols the street, tries to attempt to catch dogs that are strays. It is a difficult task to do. There are times where from start to finish it could take hours, just trying for her to follow a dog to get it, to coax it to come in with her. So it does take time. She does put out traps, especially for the little ones that roam around here by the truck over here. So she has been doing that as well. She has been out the last couple of weeks. But anytime after hours, or even if she's gone, any type of public safety issue, like if dogs are in the schools, aggressive, injured, we will respond no matter if she's working or not. They call, and if there's an issue with anything regarding the animal control, please, I encourage people to give me a call. Again, we're not perfect, and if there's something that I can rectify and I can fix, then I will. Yeah, that's basically what animal control basically does on a day-to-day basis when she works.
I do know we do get complaints on certain residents with illegal chickens and roosters and things like that. We have taken enforcement action in the past. I think they did an operation probably about 9 years ago where they confiscated a bunch of roosters, and I think it cost the city like $3,000 to take those to the shelter. So if we have an alternative, resource to take those chickens and roosters, that'd be great. But it is something that, again, it's going to hit the budget, and we want to do what we can. However, we want to look at being responsible department members and with our general fund money.
Well, I appreciate all of you three chatting specifically about your departments and what you do and how it impacts the community. So what I wanted to talk about right now was specifically related to the dog park. We've been getting quite a bit of requests from a lot of different members in the community about having a dog park. So we actually came up with a tentative plan of having a dog park at Lucero Park. And of course, we want to educate the community of what a dog park is. So first, it's not, it's a designated area that's fenced in, that has, the proper facilities there so that, the dogs can drink water, and there's a fence latch so that people can release their dog without having, because anywhere in the city, if you're walking your dog, it has to be with a leash, okay? Your dog can't be loose, number one. Number two, in terms of dogs being vicious and so, because some people might say, well, my dog's going to get attacked by another dog. I mean, can that happen? Yes. However, it's really the responsibility of the pet owner, okay? A lot of times these pets are spayed and neutered, okay, and they're non-aggressive, etc. And so you know your pet, okay? And so the idea is it's supposed to be a place where you can let your dog loose. There shouldn't be any problems with other pets. You can play with them, etc. So again, it's fenced in, and it's half shaded and half non-shaded. And so I know that there was a family that is circulating a little petition, and we're going to be meeting with them. We want to continue to educate them, because maybe the concept of what they had in mind, all these dogs fighting, maybe kids roaming around and getting, bitten, who knows? And then the other thing too is you have to, be after your pet in terms of if they go one or two, number two, of course. They have to pick after their pet, pick up their stool, etc. Okay, so if you have any questions, and if there's any viewers have questions, please send us an email, come over to City Hall, etc. Or give us a call, and we're more than happy to talk to you about that. And then lastly, Mr. Moran, who's here in the audience, Livingston has to have every kind of festival, so he came up with the pet festival, and he's a mascot lover, I would say, and so, which is great. And so we had our pet festival not too long ago. If you have any ideas, one of the things that I would like to see is the community start to register their pets like they're supposed to. A lot of the smaller dogs, they're roaming around everywhere. I'm afraid to be in front of City Hall and the Merced Sunstar on the other side of the street, and then capture a photo of me coming out of the City Hall with the dogs running around. And I can know what the headlines is going to say: "City going to the dogs." No, I don't want that. So, anyways, we're trying to do the best we can, and the only way we can do it is with the help of the community. So, get the word out there, and thank you very much. Anything else, gentlemen, that you wanted to cover? Any other questions from the public? One of our council members in the back? Any questions? No? ¿Algunas preguntas? No? Nada? Turn it over to you.
All right. Well, thank you. I think we still might be able to catch some of the College World Series or the Democratic debates if you guys want to race home. So have a good night. Thank you.